A wild contest at the Coliseum that started in the rain but ended in the sunshine, and it was sort of emblematic of exactly how Las Palmas' afternoon went. Things started poorly for them. This whole calendar year of 2025 has been poorly for them, but they managed to turn it around. However, at the beginning of the game, it was all about Omar Alderete. This is 20 minutes into the game, and it was the first shot that we had. Initially ruled offside, but eventually that would be overturned. Alderete was indeed in an onside position, and with the assist from Luis Milla, Getafe, under a circumstance that took us a couple of minutes to figure out, would take the lead at home. And they were bossing this game. Las Palmas didn't have any reason to get back into it. There was just nothing to prove that they were a better side on this day. Getafe get the goal, they celebrate it. Everybody's happy with the way that this thing is progressing. The sun comes out and it's a good day to be a Getafe fan, but that would change over the course of this game. First of the season for Alderete. In fact, it's his first goal since May of 2023, 2 seasons ago. He managed to score his 4th ever goal in LaLiga EA Sports. Milla provides the assist. It was one of those moments on a set piece where you thought they've got to take advantage of exact moments like this. And so that worked to give Getafe the lead. Las Palmas would look for ways to make their way back, but Getafe first showed why they were bossing the game and why they proved that there could be another one in it. This was Juanmi's shot, followed by a wild sequence that ultimately ended up in a couple of important saves. We don't know whether or not these, after this moment, would have counted or not. We'll show you why in a second, but the first shot then came from Milla. What a save from Horkash. And the follow-up from Juanmi was then covered up by Dinko Horkash, the man who's covering for Jasper Sillison as he recovers from his intestinal injury that he suffered 2 weeks ago. But there were multiple moments here. A potential handball in the build-up, which comes right here, potentially. We don't know for sure, but since the ball didn't hit the back of the net, there was no need to review it. Still, though, this save right here from Horkash, that's big-time stuff. And then 2 potential follow-ups, neither of which found their way into the net. Another look at the palm save from the Croatian keeper. And then Las Palmas tried to find a way to get back into the game. First it was Sandro Ramirez, unable to do it here. The first intervention from David Soria. Keep that one in front of him. And this right here was another potential moment for them. Fabio Silva twisting and turning, and the moment that then changed the game. Viti gets a cross in. Now it's seen out for a corner, but the corner wouldn't be taken. Instead, there was a foul. Viti stays down, and upon further review, Diego Rico's challenge was very hasty and, in fact, deemed to be excessive. That violent action right there with the studs up on Viti's leg is what would change this game for the remaining hour. Rico sent off with this extension right there, and it's as clear as you're going to see. The yellow card was initially handed out, but instead Alberola Rojas shows the Roja and sends off Rico. And with a lead for Getafe, the plan was then to defend for the next hour. And they knew that that would be a tough task. But if there's any team that can do it, any team that knows how to do it, it is Getafe. But for Las Palmas, the first half was just they have to forget. There was no cohesion and nothing but frustration. In fact, they couldn't get anything going. There were hardly any chances for them to speak of in the half. These were the types of moments that came sparingly, and even then, Dario Esugo needs to do better with that. Diego Martinez and the bench feeling the pressure. And as we wound down in the final minutes of the first half, you thought maybe there would be one moment for them in this, and in fact there was. It's this cross from Viti that finds the head of Ali McBurney, who just misses the far post. It skims beyond the outside portion of the post. That was the best chance in the first half for Las Palmas. They go into halftime with nothing to show for it, and they knew that they would have 45 minutes with a man advantage to try and begin to salvage their season. They went into this game 4 points back of safety. So 3 points here were absolutely essential, especially with their two rivals at the moment, Leganés and Alaves, playing both Barça and Real Madrid. So halftime substitutions saw Martinez bring in Alberto Moleiro and Marvin Park. Viti went off and Dario Esugo went off, and those changes completely revolutionized Las Palmas' game. They had chances, and they managed to finish off some of those chances. First, Sandro feeding Park. This one seen out for a corner. But you could tell that there was a sense of urgency, and more importantly from them, a sense of execution that they had lacked in the first half. Wouldn't take them long to find their opening goal of the game either. Before they could do that, they had to threaten, and they would do so here yet again. Fabio Silva for Ali McBurney. McBurney fights to win it back. He does that, and then laying it off for Javi Munoz into the path of Silva, who scores and levels the game. And everybody on the Las Palmas bench knew that it's time to get back and try it again, looking for more. And everybody who made the trip to the Madrid area from the Canary Islands realizing that all of a sudden it became possible. This was about 10 minutes into the second half. There was a potential question of a foul there on Juanmi, who hit the ground rather easily. And Munoz's assist sets up Silva. Great first touch from him. 9th goal of the season for Fabio Silva, who continues to impress on loan from the Premier League. Silva, at 22 years old, is one of the main reasons why Las Palmas still have a chance this year. They had already won in the Madrid area earlier this season in Vallecas against Rayo, and they were on their way with that first goal, but they knew they needed more, and they would continue to search for more. Silva this time looking for a back heel. Park went down in the box along with Luis Milla. No whistle on either side, just a collision that looked to be as much of a 50-50 as you'll see. More importantly, they attacked with confidence, and this was the kind of example that showed exactly why they could do that. Stefan Bajcetic, on loan from Liverpool. How about this for a first touch, though, from Mika Marmol, Alberto Moleiro, and Ali McBurney. Second goal in as many games, second of the season, and Las Palmas get their go-ahead goal an hour into proceedings. A big moment for them to take the lead, especially with a man advantage. The first touch pass from Marmol is exquisite, and then McBurney, it's hard to miss from that spot. You've still got to put it away, though. He does that and gives Las Palmas the 2-1 lead. Strangely enough, McBurney, he's got 6 assists this year. Moleiro has 6 goals, but they connect in reverse. It's the second goal of the year for McBurney. It's just the first assist of the season for Moleiro, and they made it work. And Getafe tried to get one back. This was one of the efforts. That was about as close as they would get. Copa da Costa had just come on. Provides a shot on target, but there wasn't much in it outside of a couple of moments from da Costa. He was definitely their best chance to get back into the game. This time he tried setting himself up for success. And then Mauro Arambarri tees up the shot for Ramon Terrats. No threat, though, realistically, from Getafe with 10 men. And all that was left was to try and find the icing on the cake Fabio Silva was eventually going to be that man. Now, it wouldn't happen here, but he continued to recycle, to facilitate. Munoz decided to have a hit, rightfully so. This team just continued to push forward, looking for the right moment. Eventually, it came for Silva with a cheeky chip to seal the deal. Just over 10 minutes after the second goal, the go-ahead goal, this one puts it away, and Silva is into double digits this season in the goal-scoring department in La Liga EA Sports. He gets the feed from Manu Fuster outside of the boot. Look at this feed. Now, in the initial feed, you don't see it, but you do get to see it here with Silva very calmly, one touching it over the top of the outstretched Soria. A patient finish, and for Las Palmas, an important one that gives them all 3 points. They entered the day 4 points back, and after this victory, they go a point back of Alaves and a point ahead of Leganés, with those two teams still to play. It's a victory that means everything for Las Palmas, especially with two very difficult meetings against Atlético de Madrid and Athletic Club in the next week and a half. There was a potential moment late for Cobo da Costa, who was the best substitute for Getafe in this game, but it was never going to happen. Down a man, they weren't coming back from a 2-goal deficit. Silva came off to the delight of the fans. He was the MVP of this one, and Las Palmas get a much-needed win after 12 games in La Liga without one. First win in 2025. It ends Getafe 1, Las Palmas 3.